Hey guys, Kevin, and as I told you guys, I would be doing my thoughts on the Academy Awards last night since I was not able to do a live stream last night. Like I said, I just wasn't feeling well, so I wasn't really able to do it. I wasn't in the mood, really. Sorry, I just wasn't feeling well. But what I'm basically gonna be doing in this video is give you my thoughts on what I like, what I didn't like, pretty much just go over everything, not just nominations, everything that happened, my opinions of things like that. And the video shouldn't be too long, but let's just get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, apart from the nominations, is Chris Rock's hosting, because one of the most important components of the awards is a host. You want to have a host that carries the night, you want to have a host that keeps you invested, and you want to have a host that's not bored. Let's talk about Neil Patrick Harris for a second, because last year, Neil Patrick Harris, I don't think he was bad. I really don't think he was. I think that he's just not used to doing a show like the Academy Awards, and that's why they didn't ask him back. That's really what it was. He wasn't bad. I mean, you look back at some of the things he did, there were some really good things that he did. It's just as the night went on, he started not to get bored, I think just didn't really know how to keep it going because it wasn't the Tonys. So, as for Chris Rock, though, when he was announced, I really didn't know how he was going to be. I knew he hosted before, but of course, I didn't see him host before, so I was interested in seeing how he was going to be. And I will say this, I understand that he had to change a lot of his speech because of the whole subject that came up with a lot of blacks being upset that a lot of black people were snubbed for the Academy Awards, which honestly I kind of do understand. Like last year, David Oyelowo was snubbed for Selma. I definitely think he should have won that. He was incredible in that movie. If not won, but at least be nominated. He was incredible in that movie. And then this year, Beast of No Nation, everybody was snubbed for that. There was not a single nomination for Beast of No Nation, which I don't understand. It's an amazing movie. If you haven't checked out Beast of No Nation, check it out now. It involves a very pressing subject that's honestly very important, and it's a really powerful movie. Definitely check it out on Netflix. It's an amazing movie. But I will say that, and I understand that subject, I do understand that, but here's the thing. The Academy never based the nominations on ethnicity. It was never based on, who is black, who's white. It's never based on that. It's based on talent, and if they don't think that David Oyelowo gave one of the 5 best performances of the year, they're not going to nominate him. And if they don't think that Idris Elba gave one of the best performances for Best Actor, they're not going to nominate him. It's just that simple. And I think that's one of the things that they're not understanding. Just because they weren't nominated does not mean that the Academy is racist. And I think that whole thing that Chris Rock did was a bit too much. And I understand some of it was jokes, but I think going on for as long as it did, some of it was a bit too much. And especially, for example, I think a big example of something I really was not a fan of was that whole montage thing he did where he had, like, Leslie Jones and people like that come into different movie scenes to, like, get the actors in tune. That really wasn't funny. I don't really understand what the point of that was. To me, it was just like, oh, let's just mock white people, things like that. And that really was not funny to me. I don't really understand why they made, I'm not thinking that they were mocking them, but I don't know, I just didn't really find it funny. I found it actually kind of mean-spirited there, and a lot of it came across as them kind of getting revenge. Like, for example, Will Smith boycotted the Academy Awards, and I'm not having anything against him for that. Whatever, you weren't even nominated, fine. I kind of just think Will Smith is a sore loser for that because he wasn't nominated, so whatever, but yeah, so I think a lot of that was very heavy-handed. I think there was a lot of that really was not important. I do really want to applaud Kevin Hart, though, because what he said, I really do like what he said, that let's not let this get us down. Let's try to move on. Let's try to enjoy the night. We're still strong, things like that. I thought that was a very good speech that he said, because he was one of the few that didn't seem like he was, like, retaliating against the Academy. He really seemed like, let's just move on. It's 1 year, who cares? Let's move on, and better luck next year. And I really do think that's the attitude to have. And Kevin Hart's usually the funny man, so I really do like that Kevin Hart said that. I think it was very good he said that, especially with the events of the night. I was very happy with that. And there were some things that Chris Rock did very well. Like, I do think he was genuinely funny when he wasn't talking about the whole black thing, which I think some things were funny that he said here and there, like how he doesn't understand the whole Academy, all of a sudden this is a problem, because yeah, why is it all of a sudden a problem? Why wasn't it a problem last year when David Oyelowo wasn't nominated? That didn't seem to be a problem as much, and maybe it was more quiet this year. It was definitely more loud in terms of that. But I do like the whole thing he did with the Girl Scout cookies. I thought that was very funny, because yes, he does have kids, and he's missing that, and I thought that was pretty funny that he did that. I enjoyed that overall. I liked his whole thing about women and how we're not allowed to ask them what they're wearing. I think that was pretty funny. Everything else he did. My favorite joke of the night, though, for me, honestly, was toward the end where he's like, wow, it's late. This is infomercial late. I mean, that line was just so great. That was probably my favorite line of the night because that's how you know you have a host. He kept things going. I definitely will say that. If there's one thing I can give Chris Rock is that he kept things going. Is he the best host ever? No, I don't think he was the best host ever. I do think some of the things he did, I think was a bit too much, but overall, I think he did a good job. I still really do like Chris Rock. I think he's a very funny guy, and I think overall he did do a pretty good job with hosting. I don't think he was the best. I don't think he was as bad as Neil Patrick Harris last year. Neil Patrick Harris, things came across as very awkward, but I think Chris Rock, for the most part, did do a good job with that. So that's what I'd say about the hosting, things like that. Now, let's get to the actual nominations, because that's what you guys care about. You want to hear my thoughts on this. A lot of the things I wasn't surprised about, like Mad Max winning a ton, I was very surprised that Mad Max won a lot of stuff. I was thinking Star Wars was going to win because it wasn't nominated for a lot, but Star Wars got nothing, surprisingly, which I understand. Star Wars probably has won stuff in the past. I think it won some for Phantom Menace, honestly. I think it did. But Mad Max winning a lot, I'm very happy about that. It deserves to win all that stuff because it's one of the most unique looking action films. But best film ending, I was shocked when Mad Max won that. I mean, I was like, Star Wars is definitely winning this, but no, Mad Max won. The Revenant didn't really win any of the technical categories except for best cinematography, which I knew was going to because, again, that's just a movie where I look at it and I'm just like, I don't know how they did it. So I'm not surprised that The Revenant got that. It definitely deserves it. And as well as best director, I mean, Alejandro G. just incredible stuff. The entire movie is his vision. That's really, I think it deserves both of those things. I'm very happy that it got that. But yeah, Mad Max won most of the stuff, you know, best production design, best makeup and hairstyling, best costume design, best film editing, all that stuff it won. And I really do think it deserves that best sound mixing. It really does deserve all of those nominations, all those wins that it got. It's an incredible movie. The more the better. And I was very happy to see that. You guys may think I was upset. No, I really wasn't. I was very happy to see it win all those things. It really does deserve it, and I'm very happy to see that it won other things that it did. My biggest shock, though, was Ex Machina. Ex Machina, just out of nowhere, it takes visual effects. Now, I heard some people say, oh, it's not really realistic looking. I don't really think that's what visual effects are about. I don't think it's about what looks the most realistic. I think it's more about what is the most impressive in terms of visual effects. And if you look at Alicia Vikander in that movie, that is the reason why I think it won Best Visual Effects. I mean, she looks real. She doesn't look like, you would think that she is a robot because she looks like a robot. She doesn't look like a human in a robot suit. She looks like a robot, and the way that they did that was incredible. And really, Ex Machina is a movie where you need to see it to really believe how great those visual effects are. And also A24, that was their first win, so that's another reason why I'm very happy for it. But I'm very surprised that it got that. I mean, I'm glad it won something because it's a movie that definitely deserved to win a lot more than that. Alicia Vikander especially should have won, but Ex Machina, amazing stuff. Very happy it won Best Visual Effects. And just the fact that it won something, that's why I'm not too upset about that, because at least it won something. Surprised Mad Max didn't get it. I'm like, Mad Max without a doubt is getting this, but no, Ex Machina got it, and I was surprised, but I wasn't upset. I thought it was fine that it won that, and I really have no problem with Ex Machina winning what it did. So with those out of the way, now we get to the big ones, because obviously there are only a few more categories to get to. Best Original Song. Let's talk about the performances, because I thought all the performances are really great. The performance of Earned It by the Weeknd, that was really cool. The way they did it, like some kind of like a circus out, like Cirque du Soleil. That was really cool overall. Definitely, I think one of the highlights of the night was that performance. That was awesome stuff. I love the way that that was done. I don't really like the song, and it's not that I don't like the song, I don't like that it's from 50 Shades of Grey. That's the reason why I didn't want it to win. The fact that it's from 50 Shades of Grey, you know how much I hate that movie. You know how much I don't want to hear about it. It's a movie that I cringe whenever I hear the title. And especially after 50 Shades of Black, you know, that train wreck that I watched a couple weeks ago, I don't really want to think about 50 Shades of Grey. So that's why I didn't really want to think about that one. Manta Ray Racing Extinction didn't perform. Simple Song number 3 didn't perform. And I think the reason it didn't is because that is a song where you need to watch the whole film to really be satisfied with that song. It's the perfect ending to the movie, but as a song on its own, it's kind of just like, oh, this is pretty, but it's kind of putting me to sleep. And the movie is just so powerful. That's really the thing with Simple Song number 3. But of course, I think the highlight out of all these performances without a doubt was Till It Happens to You from Lady Gaga. I mean, talk about performance that just came out of nowhere. Look, I've heard about The Hunting Ground. I've heard about how incredible that movie is, things like that. And it is a very important subject. I'm glad that Vice President Biden came out to show that this is such a big issue. I mean, the fact that him and President Obama are trying to solve this, it is a huge issue and it is a real problem. I mean, things that happen at college campuses, they happen every single day. People are taken advantage of, and there's really nothing they can do about it. Whether or not they want it or not, it happens to them. And Lady Gaga's song is just so perfect with that. Like, you never know how it feels till it happens to you. Yeah, it's true. And just the performance overall, her singing, her powerful vocals, this might be the strongest I've ever heard Lady Gaga sing. I mean, besides that Sound of Music performance last year, in terms of passion, this was by far her most passionate performance. Her vocals were just incredible here. I could not get over how high she was singing. I mean, she was incredible. But then when they brought out all the rape victims, I mean, I was on the verge of tears. Amazing stuff till it happens to you. One of the best performances I've seen in a very long time. And Lady Gaga, I mean, she's been on pretty much every single award show, and it shows. I mean, she is a very talented woman. She's talented. She is amazing, and I love seeing her. The more the better, honestly, because she really gives amazing performances. I'd love to go to a concert of hers because she just seems like she gives amazing performances after amazing performances. And Lady Gaga, Till It Happens to You, amazing stuff. And I was convinced that was going to win, but Writings on the Wall won from Spectre, which I have no problem with. Amazing song overall. I know a lot of people don't like Writings on the Wall, but I figured, hey, it won the Golden Globe, so it's probably going to win the Oscars, and it did. Sam Smith, like, completely cut his hair and everything. He, like, shaved his head. He now looks like John Valjean from, like, Les Mis. If you guys look at it, really, he does. And I'm talking about, like, the beginning of, like, Les Mis, where Jean Valjean has, like, the short hair and everything and the beard. That's what he looks like, honestly. And no, I'm not just saying that because my school is putting on Les Mis, but that's kind of what he looked like. But I did like what he said about how he might be the first gay man to win an award. It is a big deal. It really is, and especially for that community. I'm very happy for him. Sam Smith is a very talented artist, and I'm happy that he got this award because he is, he might, if he was the first gay man, then good job to that community. I'm very happy for them, and I'm glad that he said that because, especially for the gay people out there that maybe boycott the Oscars because there aren't enough people like that, because I'm sure just like the black community, there are people in the gay community that might not watch it because there might be people snubbed, and for this, I'm happy that Sam Smith said that. I'm very happy he did, and I thought that was a very good thing for him to say. So, Best Original Score, not at all surprised that Ennio Morricone got it. I did not know that this was his first win. I think that was really cool that was his first win. What a way to win. And just the fact that he didn't speak English and needed that translator, I mean, very powerful stuff. Amazing score. I bought the score to Carol, though, because it was so good. I mean, just listening to that score again, I'm like, oh, I need to buy the score, so I did. But The Hateful Eight, I mean, it's just an amazing score. It's an amazing score. It works perfectly with that movie, and very happy that it won, especially for Ennio Morricone, who's never won. Amazing stuff. Best Animated Short Film, Bear Story won. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm surprised that World Tomorrow didn't. I've heard amazing things about it, but I don't know what the hell Bear Story is, honestly. And then Best Live Action Short Film, I don't know what that is either. I'm happy to see Jacob Tremblay and Abraham Attah go out and give that nomination. It was cool to see those two, especially for Jacob Tremblay. A lot of people are saying that he's going to be a big star. I definitely agree with that. Glad to see Jacob Tremblay and glad to see Abraham Attah. Two amazing childhood performers who I really do think gave some of the best performances of last year. But here's the thing. They'll get their time. I said on Twitter, they'll get their time. I'm not upset that they weren't nominated because they'll get their time. They're child actors. That's what they are. And they'll get their time. They'll get their time to get nominations, especially Abraham Attah. I definitely see him getting a nomination very soon. Jacob Tremblay as well. I definitely see both of them getting nominations for Oscars very soon and probably winning at some point. I could definitely see that happening. They have bright futures ahead of them, and they're definitely someone to think about in the coming years. Definitely someone to watch out for. Best documentary short subject, I don't really care. But I gotta say, in terms of the best monologue, Louis C.K., oh my god. His whole bit where he talked about how they really get nothing in terms of money, that was hilarious. I love the way that that was done. Can we please get Louis C.K. to host the Oscars next year, because he was hilarious with that. I'd love to see him host the Oscars next year. He really was funny, and that was great to see. But I don't really care about that nomination, I would say. But Best Documentary Feature, I am so happy that Amy won. I freaked out when it did. I mean, just amazing, amazing stuff. If you guys haven't seen Amy, check it out. It's one of the most unique films I've ever seen in a very long time, especially for documentaries, and definitely check it out. It is incredible. Best Foreign Language Film, again, not surprised that Sona saw one. Very happy for them. And then Best Animated Feature Film, I knew Inside Out was going to get it. Okay, I knew. It was cool to see Woody and Buzz give the award. I was definitely happy with that they gave it out. The Minions giving the animated short film. Ugh. Come on, just after the Minions movie, I don't want to see the Minions for a while. I really don't. I mean, I can't stand the Minions. I really can't. But Best Animated Feature Film, Inside Out. Awesome that they won. Amazing movie overall. And really what they said, like what Pete Docter said, that if you were just, if you go to school, you can relate to the movie. If you're making some sort of transition, like you're going from high school to college, you really can relate to the movie. I mean, I really do agree with that. Anyone can really relate to Inside Out. And it really can be any sort of story. Everyone has those emotions in their head, and I really do agree with that. That's why it's such a great movie. But not Melissa. I want that movie to get more love. That's why I want it to win. I want it to be more known. I want more people to see it, and I really want it to be a classic. I really do. I think it's gonna be a classic. I think it's gonna be one of those movies that might not be very popular now, but in the coming years, it's gonna get more popular, and I really do want more people to see it because it's an incredible film. Best Adapted Screenplay, Big Short. I was surprised that The Big Short got this. I mean, I really didn't know what was going to get it. I was thinking The Big Short was going to be the one movie that gets nothing. But no, Carol was like the one that walked away with absolutely nothing, which I was surprised about. I was thinking Carol was going to get it, but no, it did not. The Big Short got this, so interesting. And the Best Original Screenplay, not at all surprised that Spotlight got this, because Spotlight is just such a great screenplay. Again, I've said before, the thing that makes a movie so great is the screenplay. Had the screenplay not been as good, the movie would be boring. So I'm happy that it got Best Original Screenplay. Best Supporting Actress, Alicia Vikander, fine. I mean, she gave a really good performance in that movie. I really was not my choice. I would have wanted to see Kate Winslet or Jennifer Jason Leigh, but she still did a really good job in The Danish Girl. And I'm going to count that as her win for Ex Machina that she didn't get. So Alicia Vikander, happy that she did get nominated for happy that she did win for The Danish Girl. And especially since Alicia Vikander is, she's only made like a few movies and she's already gotten an Oscar. It's incredible to see, and I really think she did a great job. Best Supporting Actor. Here's the most shocking award of the night, without a doubt. Probably the most shocking one. I mean, Ex Machina was shocking, but this one, I can't get over how shocking this one was. I mean, I thought I had it in the bag that Sylvester Stallone was going to win. Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. Now, I'm not upset, because Mark Rylance did a very good job at Bridge of Spies, but come on, what does Sylvester Stallone have to do? Like, seriously, he's played this character for years. Does Rocky Balboa just have to straight up die? Do we have to see Rocky Balboa die in a hospital? Is that what Sylvester Stallone has to do? Do we have to put this character to rest? Do we have to put this, do we have to put this character on an operating table throughout the entire movie? Is that what he has to do? Because honestly, I don't know if Sylvester Stallone's going to win an Oscar. I really don't know. I'd love to see it happen. He did an incredible job in that movie, but I am shocked they didn't get it. But Mark Rylance, I'm fine with that. He by far was the star of Bridge of Spies, without a doubt. Tom Hanks was great, but Mark Rylance just stole the show from him. All of his scenes were incredible, and I'm very happy that he got it for Bridge of Spies. Amazing performance overall. I'm fine with him winning just because he was so great, but had someone like Tom Hardy won, I'd be pissed. But luckily, Mark Rylance won, so Bridge of Spies, I'm perfectly fine with that. Best Actress, no surprise here. Brie Larson did win for Room, which I really loved her speech. I loved how she talked about thanking A24 and thanking Jacob Tremblay. Just a really nice speech overall. Definitely very happy for her. But of course, guys, the big highlight of the night, the thing that I was most happy about, Best Actor, did go to Leo DiCaprio, and it's just, it's incredible. It really is incredible. After all those memes and those GIFs I've seen of, those GIFs I've seen of Leo not winning an Oscar, or him, like, holding an Oscar, hoping it's his, but it's not, or those Steve Harvey things I've seen, things like that. It's incredible to finally see Leo win. This is his 6th time, and just hearing on the Oscars, this is Leo's 6th nomination and first win. It's just incredible to hear. His speech was great. You can tell he's prepared it for so long. He really thanked everyone, and a lot of people talked about his climate change thing. Leonardo DiCaprio has always been very passionate when it comes to the Earth. He's very passionate about it. He's an environmentalist, and that's just who he is. So, if you guys had a problem with his speech, I really didn't, because that's just who he is. He's always tried to fight the Earth. He's always tried to do good things for, like, the planet and things like that. So I really had no problem with him talking about climate change. He's an environmentalist, and there's really nothing wrong with that. So, very happy to see him win. Awesome that he finally won an Oscar. It's about time. Let's hope there's more to come, because he really did a great job. And if anyone else would have won, I mean, I would have been fine with that, but Eddie Redmayne, when he came out for Best Actress, I'm like, you better not win. Seriously, you better not win. So, I'm very happy Leo won. Awesome stuff. And then, Best Director, Alejandro Inarritu, not all surprised, like I said. And then, Best Picture did go to Spotlight, which I did predict, and I was very happy about. So, good to see them win as well. And then, overall, guys, I did enjoy the night. I think it was somewhat of a bore at points. I do think there were some things that went on a bit too long, like some of Chris Rock's stuff, like I said, did it get a bit heavy-handed, but overall, I enjoyed myself throughout the night. It wasn't boring. It was quite interesting throughout it. I was entertained for the most part. I was very happy to see the nominations that I did win. Let me know what you guys saw of the Oscars. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Sorry I did not get to do a live stream. I would have loved to do it, and I just didn't get a chance to. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be for The Walking Dead, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.